Hello. I am back. This is Sunday, October the 26th, I believe. I am here at the rental home. I'm going to work on this flooring. I was here yesterday. I had a funeral to go to yesterday in the afternoon, early morning, well, midday around noon. A good friend of mine lost her father. So I went to the funeral and the burial. And then after that, I went home, changed clothes, and then came here and I worked for a few hours. And I forgot to bring my camera. And I forgot to bring my camera again on today. So I am on my cell phone. And I was looking at the wrong side, I'm sorry. So I'm on my cell phone, but I'm gonna turn my cell phone camera around and show you what I got done on yesterday and then what I'm going to do today. I won't be able to set this up so you guys can watch me, but hopefully by the time my husband gets here, I'll have him bring the camera. You guys can see me work a little bit this evening. I plan on being here all day long today and get as much done of this flooring as I can. So fingers crossed, hopefully we can get a lot done. All right, let me show you what we have. So on yesterday I came and before I had stopped right there at the doorway. It's dark over here, but I picked back up where that was, like right, that seam right there. I picked back up there and I started working my way in here, and it took a long time to do that first row. But after I got that first row done, then there's like a funky cut down there at the end. Once I got all of that done, then it was pretty easy. I was working with a migraine headache, but I got this far on yesterday. And the only reason I really stopped, well, it was late. It was like 8:30 in the evening, but the only reason I really stopped was because my dad came over on yesterday, and there are a couple of spaces where there were some divots in the concrete, like here, everywhere where you see those little white pieces where mortar is. And if it was like near the wall or somewhere where there's not high traffic, I didn't worry about it. But depending on how big, how deep it was, and whether it was in a high traffic spot, I wanted him to fill it in. So like here, this is normally a high traffic spot walking back to these bedrooms and that bathroom. So I definitely wanted those filled in. And these would be like in the middle of the living room floor. So you don't know how they're going to situate their furniture and stuff. So I definitely wanted all of the pieces in this living room filled in. And then there are a couple of pieces in the dining room that he had to fill in as well. These two spots right here, there was like some indentation in the concrete. So he filled those two in. And that's it. So we're gonna get to work, see how much we can get done today. Hopefully I can get all of that done to this corner. Then we're gonna start back in here where I ended off here and work my way out, and hopefully it'll line back up so we can come on this way. So let's get started there, and I'll check back in with you guys a little bit later. So it has been about another 50 minutes, 55 minutes. It's 12:40, and I have gotten to the corner. I have completed all of that. Now I'm going to leave this room and go in here. And what we're gonna do with the plan is we're gonna start here, work my way out. Then I'm gonna go over here, go all the way, another one, go all the way. And then maybe the third row that I start here will connect with that. I want it to flow seamlessly. So I'm going to stack 3 rows to see if it's equal width, to make sure that I don't need to start here and work my way out and then end up here with a transition in the middle. So I'm going to, first I'm going to stack 3 to see if it ends up at the same width, where it'll meet up around this little corner. And if it does not, then I'm going to come back in here, and then I'm going to start, and then I'm going to work my way over, and wherever I meet up here, we'll just put a little threshold here. So let's see if it meets up, and you guys will find out in about 2 seconds when I come back. Woohoo, I am so excited. So this is not the flooring laid out for real. I just put a few pieces there to see if it would match up. So there you go. We're gonna do a row here, a row there, another row, and then this, we're gonna start the row over here. We're gonna work our way this way for this row, but then we'll have to cut out a little, like a little rectangle, and then slide it underneath there, and it will connect to that piece, and then it'll connect to that piece. And then we can continue working our way on in here. And then from that point on, when we start our next row, we can just work our way all the way in and continue on. So I anticipate finishing at least all of the foyer and all of the living room today. Now, don't know if we'll get into the dining room. I hope so, but I feel good about finishing up all of this entryway, foyer, and all of the living room. So let me quit talking and get started, because I still have a lot to do, y'all. This has been a big project, but we have saved quite a bit of money. We got an estimate on how much it would cost to demo this flooring, and also how much it would cost to lay down the vinyl planks that I purchased. And the estimate that we got was $2,000 for the demo and $3,100 to install. Not to mention the almost $3,000 that I spent to purchase the flooring. So if the flooring was a total of like $2,965 or something like that, right at $3,000. So with the cost of what we spent on renting the tools, plus the that tool that I purchased over there to cut the to cut the vinyl, that was about $110 off of Amazon. And then the rental of the equipment from Home Depot was, I'm sorry, y'all. I had to put my hair up, and I want you guys to see my face while I was talking. But the rental of the equipment from Home Depot was about, for both machines, for all of the time we spent, it was about like right at $500. So $500 plus the $110 that I spent on purchasing that, it's like roughly $600. So we have saved about $4,500. So I know it's taken about 3 weekends to do it, plus some weekdays, 3 full weekends, plus some evenings after work. But anytime you can save $5,000 and get it done yourself in 2 to 3 weeks, that's a win to me. Now, sometimes with someone where finances may not be an issue and you just have money free flowing, then have at it, go ahead, spend the money, let someone else do it, and maybe your time is a little bit more important. But we have other things going on over here. I have things at my house that I want to spend money on. I have a son that's newly off at college. I have another son who is having car trouble right now. So we're trying to save money over here. However, let me stop talking and let's get started once again. And I will be back in 2 seconds and show you guys my progress. All right. So we have come to an issue, a problem. It's gonna take some time to correct. My dad was right. He said that I would have to come in here and there would be a transition. It would have to be a transition right there. So I thought I could make it work. I thought it would fit up, but the piece that I was putting right here, it fit perfectly here, but when it got over here, there was like a, not even 1/8, maybe 1/16 of a gap. It was not lining up with this. I think somewhere when I got off line here, and that's pushed back a little bit more. So it's a very small gap, but you see that right there. There's no way I can make that fit. I tried to cut it here and was gonna glue that together to see if it could come together like seamlessly, but it's not gonna work. So what we're gonna do is, I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm gonna have to take this up, what I just spent the last like hour on, and we're going to have to work from this side and come into here maybe. I don't know. I gotta figure it out, but I can't figure it out while I'm on this camera. I gotta think. But however it is, we're gonna come in here and we're going to end up right there with the transition. So let me think about what we're gonna do and I will come back to you guys. All right. Good people, good people, good people. It is now 2 hours later. I had to call and consult my dad and put him on FaceTime, and I had to rip out everything I had done and redo it, but it is done now, and now I can continue on with easy straight rows. Let me turn the camera around and show you what I had to do. I hate that I could not be recording while I was doing this, but it was taking me a long time. I had to stop, take a chill break. My husband is on his way with me some snacks because I am hungry and I need to snack. But we have finally gotten past this issue. We're gonna have to have a transition, but that's okay. Let me show you guys what we have. So I was able to have one continuous piece go around that corner, and we have put back in all of this. So now we're going to have a transition right here in the center of this doorway. I may have to buy one extra transition, but the way it's looking, I may have to buy some more wood. I keep calling this wood. I may have to buy some more vinyl. So that's okay. I wanted it just one continuous and only have the transitions at the, where there is tile and carpet, but it's okay. We will have a transition right in the center of this doorway going into the hallway, back into this bedroom, this bathroom, and that closet, and then everywhere else will be seamless. So I am now going to start going on down this way, and we're going to get all the way back to this wall and get all the way in here and hopefully completely finish up this room today. It is almost 4 o'clock. It's like 3:30, so I need to get with it. I need to get to it because I have work bright and early in the morning. All right. So it is about an hour and a half later, and I just want to show you guys my progress. I've gotten here. I have not done that one yet. I gotta cut a notch out of that piece, but I have made it all the way down to here. It's 5:30. I believe within about another 3 hours, hopefully I can finish off all of that and that little bit, and we will stop right here today. We're gonna stop right here and we're gonna finish off all of that before we go home for the evening. but I have help here. He has come in and started like stacking up, moving pieces of the vinyl here. There's my help. All right, let me get back to it. And just like that, we're done. It's 8:55. I finished at like 8:45. I've been sweeping up and kind of cleaning up and putting things away for like the past 10 minutes. And I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you guys what I have accomplished on today. I've been here for about 10 hours. So I took several breaks, got frustrated, had to undo a bunch of stuff that I did, which delayed me about 2 hours. However, yeah, look at what I've done. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself. Let me turn the camera around. Look at that. And it is done. We're gonna put the transition, the T-molding here. All of that is done. And let's go into the entryway. And these are just stacked up here that we're gonna use in the dining room. But all of this is done. Entryway. Tomorrow when I come back, after I log off work, we are going to start here and get this room done. This should be fairly easy. I only have one doorway to work with. And this room is about the size of one of my smaller bedrooms, and I was able to get those done in one evening, about 2 to 3 hours. So hope that'll be done tomorrow evening. We are going to sand down these baseboards. We got a couple of baseboards to fix over here because the machine that we use, it kind of like damaged them and pulled them out. So we're gonna pull that out, clean it up and put it back. There's the one that's already pulled out. We have to do the same on this side, pull it out. We're gonna caulk everything, but we're gonna sand down those baseboards, put down shoe molding that we have already purchased, and then we're just gonna give it a fresh coat of paint. And then once I like dust and mop this floor, it's gonna look like brand new, because it is very dusty right now. But this has really brightened up this home, and I really love it. I wanted to come on camera and explain a couple of things. I know I've done pretty much this entire floor without explaining to you guys some of the tools that I'm using to help me do this job. So I'm just going to take a brief moment and explain everything, all of the ones that I have that have come to be very helpful to me, and the ones that I really don't reach for as much. This right here, this set, I purchased it. It was a kit. It also came with like some little spacers in it. I didn't use those. I will link the description to the kit in the description box below. I got it from Amazon. It was maybe about $35 or $40, $35 I believe for the entire kit. Or maybe even 30, I'm not sure. But this has really come in handy. The mallet has come in handy, and then this pull bar. Now the pull bar, the first half of my project, I was struggling with it because when I would put it down, this part would rest on the floor, and when I would tap it back, this part is heavy duty metal, and this part was kind of like leaving a few little scratches in my floor. So then I started wrapping some paper towel around it, but then the paper towel kept getting loose and falling off, and I was struggling to keep the paper towel underneath it so it was kind of like buffer the floor, not scratch the floor. Then I thought I had it came with these little pads underneath the underneath side. It was only 3 of them. But I said, these are just little sticky pads that go underneath the bottom of like furniture legs. And I had like a bag full of them at home. So I got one and I put here. So now this is what is resting on the floor. And it's like a felt pad. And then I put 2 here, so that if I'm using it this way, this is what is resting on the floor, because I don't know why they put it here. These weren't helpful at all. And then they're really thin, so I'm not sure. Anyway, this is very helpful. These 2 are very helpful. I purchased a right angle just to kind of draw straight lines with when I have to make my cuts, and I'll mark off where I need to cut in a straight line. I put this on just so that I'm cutting it with a straight line. So this is really helpful. I got this from Lowe's, and I realized like at the last minute when I was about to come over here to do this flooring that the ones that we had at home were like the big ones, the big long heavy duty ones, and I didn't want to be lugging that thing around. So I stopped by Lowe's and I picked this up, and I picked this up. This is a, I think you call it a pocket square, where you can do like angle cuts. This is a right angle. It's like 90 degrees. So you can kind of like do straight lines, or you can do like, 90 degrees. And then this is a right angle, a square, a pocket square, where you can hook it on the side, and then it'll give you a 45-degree angle cut. So this really helped me out when I was doing this hallway, and then around my fireplace hearth tile in there, and then this bedroom at the end of my hallway. The doorway going into that bedroom is cut on an angle, so it's not like a square bedroom. It's square on 3 sides, but the 4th side as you're going in, it's like cut at an angle. So this really helped me with those areas. As well as this kind of tape measure. It's sturdy, it's straight. If I had to do this with a tape measure where you gotta pull out and you gotta lock it in place, sometimes those things are kind of hard to hook in place and to keep it there. I half the time struggle with tape measures, so I really like this. This is like, I've had this for maybe like 3 or 4 years. It's Milwaukee brand, but they have them in just about every hardware store or, you know, store like that. And it's just like a tape measure, and you just like fold it out. And I believe this one goes up to 78.5 inches, which is what, 6.5 feet, and which is longer than a tape measure. No, tape measure is 25 feet, so this is not longer. But it has inches here, and then you flip it over. It's just inches on both sides. So I really like this. It's easier for me to handle with one person. Sometimes tape measure, you have to have, if you're measuring long distances, you got to have another person hold it at the other side so it doesn't, it's all flimsy or whatever. Anyway, and good pencils. I initially started off with 4 pencils, and they all got so dull and they were flattened, and I had to take them home and sharpen them all again because I did not have a pencil sharpener here. And then I also sharpened them again. So this is my 3rd time sharpening all 4 pencils. So this should do it for me tonight, because I got a little bit more than half of this room left, and then we'll be done. I'm so excited. So yeah, with my pull bar, rubber mallet, and you don't have to buy it in a kit. If you already got a rubber mallet and you got a block, a tapping block, and a pull bar, it is a must for this, because once you get to this part of the wall where you have to pull it back and make sure all the seams are tight, you can't, this is not your space up against the baseboard, up against the wall is not big enough to get this in here to tap it. So you have to put the pull bar in there in this tight small, and then pull it like that. Now with this flooring, I purchased the cutting tool. It's a vinyl plank cutter. It was like $109 or $110 off of Amazon. I'm gonna link that in the description as well. I really like it. It has it's really quick cuts and everything. But I did not think I could cut this rigid vinyl plank flooring with a razor, but you really can. You just have to score it several times. One time won't cut it. You have to do it like 3 or 4 times in the same spot, and then break it carefully, and then it will break. So I started doing that on some of my parts where I have where I have to cut out like a U shape, or I have to cut out like an L or something like that. And then I also use my jigsaw that I just purchased to finish this flooring with, because sometimes getting around all of these doorways was kind of hard. But I found out that using a razor blade was just as good as well. So, but you know, the jigsaw did help when I have to rip an entire length all the way down. You know, it would take a lot to go do it with that or do it with the razor blade. So the jigsaw really helped out with that. But anyway, let me stop all this rambling. I just wanted to show you guys some of the tools that I have used during this project that have been really helpful. Yeah, I will link everything that I have purchased in the description below, and I'm gonna get started in finishing this room so I can get home tonight. All right. Okay, when I tell y'all, I don't think I've ever been so excited in my life about about finishing something. I am now. I am tonight. I have finished everything. I am going to take the camera, turn it around, show you what I have accomplished tonight, but I won't do the full tour of the entire home until after I come back tomorrow. I'm going to sand down the baseboards, vacuum that up really good. My dad is going to come install the shoe mold, and then we're going to put a little bit caulking down, cover up the nail holes, and then we're going to paint the baseboard. And then I will show you, you know, the flooring and everything once we get the transition pieces down, the shoe molding, get the baseboards painted. I'll show you the finished project. But I will show you all those as I go along with sanding the baseboards and doing the shoe mold and everything. But I'm going to turn the camera around and show y'all what I did today. Y'all, this is the very last bit of flooring that I had to put down, with the exception of the transition pieces. That should be a breeze. So let me take the camera, show you what I've done, and y'all tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about it. This is not my first time putting down flooring, but this is my first time doing a job of this size. I've only put flooring down in my closet, which is maybe like a 10 by 12 square or rectangle, if you want to call it. And that was, I glued down wood, solid wood that was very thick, very few cuts. It was a challenge because it was my very first flooring I had ever done in my life, and dealing with that glue, you know, it was challenging. And then I laid down peel and stick vinyl flooring in our shed, which we have to kind of redo that because it had started to kind of like lift up. The adhesive on the bottom is not holding at the seams where like two pieces come. They've started to kind of lift up, tint up, and I think I put them a little bit too close. So anyway, we're going to kind of cut out those parts, and we're going to lay down some of this. My husband wants this in that big shed. So anyway, all that, let me turn the camera around and show you what I've done. And y'all, I'm so excited. I mean, I am going to sleep good tonight. All right. I am in the living room, coming out. This is the entryway and the door to the outside. And y'all, this is the dining room. So yeah, guys, I haven't done any outros. Haven't closed out any videos lately, but I want you guys to tell me what you think about what I've done. I am going to try to compile all the little snippets and all the different days installing this flooring, maybe on 2 videos, because it's been a lot over 2 weeks, several different days. However, I will try to piece it together so it'll make a little bit of sense. And if it doesn't, please charge it to my head and not my heart. This is a massive job. Some days I forgot my camera and I had to record on my cell phone. Other days I brought my camera and forgot to start recording. So it's just been a hodgepodge of like a bunch of mess, but hopefully you guys can see from what I have put together, what I've done, understood why I did certain things I did, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So whether it is morning, afternoon, or evening when you're watching this, I hope you're having a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of it, guys. Bye.